everyone, this is Heather from H&P Artistry, and I am going to show you how to make a vanilla soap, or how I make my vanilla soap. This is for Sam Davis Home, and I wanted to give you an idea of why I chose the ingredients I chose, what the history behind the soap is. But first things first, we're going to add in our kaolin clay. The oils that I have in the soap are olive oil, coconut oil. Olive oil, of course, adds that lovely moisture to your skin. Coconut oil adds bubbles. Lard is the most historical way of making soap, any type of tallow. And it's great for your skin. It also makes a really hard bar of soap. Castor oil adds bubble. Sunflower oil for your skin. Almond oil, sweet almond oil, and avocado oil both have really great properties for your skin. And I'm adding kaolin clay because kaolin clay adds a slip to your skin and helps to cleanse your skin. I'm going to go ahead and whip that up with an emulsion blender and get it nice and mixed in. I'm scraping down the sides because we want to make sure that all of that clay is mixed in and that there are no clumps. And the next step is to add our lye, which is sodium hydroxide. I've added a little bit of titanium dioxide, which is a white pigment, to make the soap nice and bright white. This has sodium lactate, which is a salt that is a vegetable derived salt, and titanium dioxide colorant. I'm pouring it down the spoon to decrease the bubbles. And the salt is table salt that is in it. What salt and sodium lactate do are they add a hardness to the bar. They also help the bar cure a little bit more quickly. It takes anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks for this type of soap to cure. Now, I also have 100% olive oil soaps, which actually take up to a year to cure. Okay. And now we will blend this up before we add any more of our ingredients. And as you watch, you'll see the change in color happen. And that is the saponification process beginning, which is the mixture of the lye and the butters, oils, and fats, turning them into soap. By the time you're done, the butters, oils, and fats will have all but 7% turned into soap. And there will be no lye left in the soap at all once the process is finalized and the cure has finished. Now, next up is to add in our goat's milk. Goat's milk leaves a really creamy lather. It's good for the skin. And it was also a, goat's and cow's milk were also additives in really rich soaps. throughout history. Now, historically, it was pot ash, which is a lye that is made from the ashes that were collected in the home over a season, and then they were run through something called a lye sieve, or a hopper, where water was poured over the ashes and filtered through straw or hay. That once it fills a bucket, they would put a fresh egg in the bucket, and if the egg floats, a whole egg, not cracked, if the egg floats, they know there's enough lye in the water to make soap. If the egg doesn't float, they would either have to continue filtering it through again and again, or they would then boil it down until the lye concentration was strong enough to make soap. This is the fragrance oil mixed with a little bit of vanilla stabilizer. The reason I would use a vanilla stabilizer is because vanilla turns soap brown. It's the vanillin content in the vanilla fragrance that then turns a soap a brown color. And this just keeps it a nice light color. It's not necessary, but it is aesthetically pleasing in soaps. And we're going to add a gold to it, so I didn't have to use quite a lot of the vanilla stabilizer because we still wanted a nice creamy color. And now it's time to blend that up, and then we'll add our colorant. I'm getting all the air bubbles out so that it doesn't aerate the soap. Now I have a nice light trace right now, and I can add in my colorants. I'm using a Sahara Gold and a Shimmer Gold, just to add that nice creamy beautiful color to our soap. It looks really shimmery when you first put it in. The shimmer does not stay throughout the entire soap, but it will have a little bit of a glisten to it when it hits the sunlight, but not enough to make your body shimmer. And this is a Mica pigment. And if you'll give me just a second to blend it up, I'll explain the Mica. Now, if you'll see, it made the soap a nice creamy color. And I have a nice trace. Trace is when you lift your mixer or your spatula out of your soap and it leaves a design on the top, sort of like a thin pudding. And it means that your mixture has fully begun saponifying and that it's fully mixed together. And depending on the type of design you want to do with your soap, depends on how much of a trace or a lift you want. And the colorants, micas, are some naturally derived mineral that has a pigment or colorant added to it to cause it to be the different colors. You can also have something that's considered nature-like pigments that are made chemically or through chemistry, grown in that way. They are not naturally mined, but they are nature-like, meaning that they use sort of the same process only in a lab. Okay, now this is ready. I'll get our mold and we will pour it in. This is our 12-bar mold. And I'm making sure that I'm filling it all the way up. And I'm getting any air bubbles out. I want to make sure it's as level as possible. That's why I'm adding these, to make sure that everything is leveled off exactly as it needs to be. And I'm going to scrape down the bowl and pour the rest in. And I will come back and add a little design to the top of the soap just to make it look really nice. And we will let this sit in the mold for anywhere between 1 to 3 days before we release it, and then we will cut it. So I will be back in just a bit to show you guys how I work my design. Okay guys, we are back. I've cleaned off my edges. I've flattened it out, and now I'm taking a toothpick and I am just going to add a really beautiful swirl to the tops of the soap. And this just adds a really nice texture and design to the soap. Now I'm doing my first pass with 1, but I will do my second pass with 2, just to make sure that it's a really nice design that shows through. I'm just going to where the 2 designs meet and making a few little peaks in the soap for the connections. And this offers a little bit of depth to each soap. And I'm making sure that every edge has a design as well. And there you have it, you guys. This is the vanilla soap, goat's milk soap, for the Sam Davis home. Hope you liked the video. I'll be back with the cutting. See you in a little bit. Bye, guys. Hey guys, it's Heather, and I am here to cut my vanilla soap. And I've already cut it lengthwise, and now I am just cutting it this way and let you guys see this. And of course I will trim up my edges. Now if you look here, you can see the vanillin in the vanilla soap is turning a darker color on the outer edges. It's lighter on the inside. Now this will eventually be the same color as the outer edges as it cures. And these smell absolutely delicious. And there are little specks of darker colors of the vanilla throughout the soap. And you can definitely see the texture on the top. And once they're cured, I will then go through and clean up my edges really well. See that one, and then the inside. It's really, really pretty soap. And I will put these on my curing rack for around 4 to 6 weeks. And then they will be ready to package. And the soap right now is still super soft. So I can mold and shape my edges to make sure that they are nice and smooth and pretty. And there you have it. This is Heather from H&P Artistry, wishing you luck, love, and a really great day. Bye, guys.